Let's go back over here. This is really gurgling and got my attention. This is pretty interesting right here.
This is what we've been doing since about 6 o'clock this morning.
We're having a flood.
We're what?
Having a flood.
Yes, we are having a flood thanks to the Harvey storm. And we've had to clear out our basement because sometimes when we have lots of rain, it gets in our basement. We've had it happen before. So we like to be proactive. Let me show you outside. This is our basement porch. Got this. We didn't know this when we built the house, so we have some preventative measures, and every time we have a record-breaking rain, we get better at it. So we got water building up here, but we do have a pump. See back here, there's our swing set, trampoline underwater. I'm going to show you over here. This is our yard. That's over there is where the pond used to be. It's now underwater. We're not expected to have any let up in the rain for the next 24 hours. So usually this is about as high as the water gets. So we're not sure what to expect today. So
Ask Farm Son what he was doing.
what were you doing, Farm Son?
Oh, I took this ruler and measured a foot out and put a stick in, so in an hour I'll check it and see how fast it's
But in an hour, the water will be further up. And so it'll be the same foot of water, right?
No. He said he measured a foot from the edge of the water, put a stick, and
Oh.
he's going to measure how far the water is
Gotcha.
moving toward the stick.
Gotcha. Thank you. So we've been up since 6, which is not abnormal, except that we had to get up. You see in the girls' room there, we had to get up and start packing up. We were somewhat prepared for this last night. We thought it would happen.
Can we go swimming?
So the little bit of a different issue that we have going on when this happens, that we have to turn off our septic system because it gets underwater and tries to back up in the house. We're now flooded in. Even though we parked our car at the other end of the driveway and where the water is, we're stuck in here. So we're in for adventures.
What day is it today?
Friday today.
It started coming out at 4 o'clock.
So, Farm Dad, what do you think?
I see a lot of work
We're
ahead.
here.
I think we need to go milk.
We need to go milk.
We do need to go milk. So we're late milking today because we've been getting the basement all cleaned up. We don't have little girls. Don't have hair fixed yet.
No,
So
Mom.
here's our view from the porch. If you've seen any pictures of our place, you know that's not how it normally looks. Right over there beyond those, no crocodiles, just logs floating. Beyond those
one
trees
right
is
there.
usually the pond. And you see where our driveway disappears. Look at the fence. The fence, I don't remember how tall that is. I want to say it's over 4 feet.
Because that's
maybe
how
5.
tall the fence is.
Yeah.
And
And
all the way down to there.
you see it
there.
disappear, and that's our swing tree. How tall is that fence?
Do we need to go measure it?
How tall is that fence?
Probably about 5.5 feet. I would guess over the center.
Okay, 5.5 feet. So
It's probably near 8 feet right now.
over there in the middle of that swing tree. So, what do you
Because
think
the branches that are just starting to touch the water,
Yeah.
I cannot raise my hand and reach or jump.
Yeah,
which is over 8 feet.
We drive under some of the ones that are hanging over the driveway there. Okay, so what do you think's in store for us today, kiddos? You don't know? School.
How about all the county schools are out because of flash floods, so perhaps we should be out of school today.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Please, we're already almost
that one.
ahead.
This girl's ready.
Yeah.
She loves an opportunity to have her umbrella out, don't you, Virginia?
You can always.
We could sleep in the barn loft.
So
if we have to.
there are approximately 150 bales of hay. So we can go up to the barn and make some beds. We have some buckets up there so we can create our own outhouse.
Yeah.
And we can just leave the house and move to the barn.
Does that sound exciting?
And we can do some blankets. We can do some hot
Wonder how the
chocolate.
baby would sleep.
Oh, especially we can use.
I think we'll be able to stay in the house. So this is as high as we've ever had it. Our neighbors over beyond that hill there, that's the top of their house. You can kind of see through the trees. Usually their house is completely flooded, like the whole crawl space is up to their front door.
It
What?
hasn't been about 15 minutes since I put that out a foot past in front of the water. It's this far out in it now.
What did you do?
Remember, he put the stick and measured 1 foot from the edge of the water to the
gotcha.
stick. The water has surrounded the stick. The water has surrounded the stick, and now the stick is about a foot, foot and a half out into the water. So it's moved about 3 feet.
I can't zoom in on the stick, but
Okay, here, show them one more part. So if
What's
you
that?
look through the tree, through the swing tree, so zoom in on the swing tree, start to see all the way to the other fence. That's the road.
the far fence beyond
Yep,
right in
there.
there.
So right now the water is about 2 feet over the road.
Yeah.
Really?
And now he parked his truck up at the top of our driveway on the other side of those trees because sometimes the water didn't get too high. He can get on to work, but we're thinking there might not be any work today for Mr. Eric.
Farm son's got the milking going. How's the milking going?
Right? I only got 1 teat left.
1 teat left. What I want to show you is where our bathroom's going to be. So, take you in here to the barn. So you're going to come from the house, come up you get grass, come into the barn, and right here's the bathroom. So you're wondering why in the world, just because it's flooded, do you have to have a bathroom up to the barn? Well, we're going to have an outhouse. Here's what's happening. So the water that's out here is sitting on top of our septic system and lateral lines. And this is probably, I don't know, 12th time that it's flooded here on our property. And all that water, that pressure, water equals itself out. It finds its own level. So it goes through the lateral lines, through the septic system, through the sewer line, and then back into the basement. And then you have sewage in the basement. So what we did years ago was installed a large gate valve. I'll show you that to you. And I was able to shut that off. Now it's impossible for any sewage to come through that line, but that also means we no longer can flush the toilet. So since we can't flush the toilet, we'll let the girls, of course, well, we'll just try to be politically incorrect. We'll go number 1 in the toilet and throw the paper in the trash can. Number 2 is going to have to come to the barn. Boys will go outside for peeing. And we'll have to do that until this water recedes where we can open the septic up. So you're probably wondering, well, why don't you evacuate? Why don't you leave? Well, we live on a farm. We got a lot of animals to take care of. As you can see, the house is high and dry. We've got power. There's no issues there. Our problem simply is we can't use indoor plumbing. So we're gonna take it back a few years to the old time homesteading. We're gonna have an outhouse, and then I get the pleasures of cleaning that outhouse once all this is gone, which is why I choose a good old-fashioned plastic bucket. No, it's not environmentally friendly, but I'm throwing that thing away when we're done. That's the extent of it. That's going to be our plumbing outhouse, if you will, for the next 24 to 36 hours. We're taking bed and breakfast reservations since we have, it's going to be right here on the shores of Lake Walnut Springs. Lake Walnut Springs right here. We have accommodations here where you'll be able to sit on your porch and watch the ever-rising lake and enjoy the plumbing of the bathroom up at the barn.
So you're just in from the for milking?
Yeah, and I'm going back out because I'm gonna see if I can't get Dad through. Caroline, can you check that
to the other
timer
side.
on the counter?
Oh, to check your water levels?
Okay.
And it's really far in. Where I can barely see it.
Well, I'm gonna go check it right now.
So I'm going to show you our, we got milk. I'm just going to show you some of our mess. We've got stuff that we brought up, just some of the loose stuff that
No,
just
it's
didn't
okay,
really want
Mom,
to get
not
wet
too big.
from the basement.
Really
This is not as bad
small.
as it has been. And we're just now sitting down to eat breakfast. And
We're having some cereal.
what are we having?
Cereal.
Yeah, we're gonna have cereal because it looks like because we have to turn off our septic, we're gonna have to hand wash our dishes because we can't let anything go down the drain. So we'll be probably be washing dishes on the front porch. We'll keep y'all posted. So this little girl is so excited. She's our news reporter. So I'm upstairs on the second floor.
And that's touching the water.
This is what we're looking at.
You know what I'm not
That's
pleased
our backyard.
about?
See the trampoline.
We're gonna have to go around.
What are you not pleased about? Tell me.
We're gonna have to
Turn
go,
around and tell us.
We're gonna have to go around Monday and pick up all the sticks that are all over the yard.
Yeah, it's gonna be really fun, isn't it?
No. It's
What an optimist you are.
You know what, Claire? We'll have all
Get
the
down off
people
the desk,
get
please.
it. We'll have all the people get it.
That
No, they
stool
still
down by the trampoline is still there.
Yeah, it didn't float away. That's nice.
How can you see
So
it?
we're in for some adventures today.
It's still there. It's not.
Dad's gonna try to get through the water to get to work, and we're gonna hang out here and do what we can do.
Farm son's still interested in his stick. He's got his ruler again. Where's your stick?
It's probably about,
I think it's gone.
yeah. It's rising maybe 5 feet an hour.
5 feet an hour? You mean 5 feet high or 5 feet
Coming forward.
coming forward off the bank? I could agree with that. So looks like our buckets over there are going to wash away. That's not good. Water right here where it's coming out is probably about 5.5 feet, somewhere in there deep. Just beyond these trees, just beyond them is a pond and huge boulders, totally underwater, as you can see. Master of the obvious here. Here's that septic. So here's our tank lids to our septic tank. So here's the water. There's water in here. So as you can see that gate valve down the bottom, that red handle. So that handle, as you can see, is perpendicular to the white pipe. The white pipe's the sewer pipe. So that valve is shut off. And if not, so this is the water you see inside of here. See if I can get an angle. So the water, no, so that water, the level of that water is consistent with the level there. We're on a hill here. It's hard to see, it slopes down like this. So water, farm son, water equalizes. It finds its own level. So it's saturated in the ground. For the septic system and the lateral lines that run through here, they're all bedded in gravel. Water will travel the path of least resistance. So since it has that gravel bed to lay in, it's easy for that water to travel through that bed and level out. And comes through here, so it's backing up. It's filling the septic tanks back completely full. And wants to push it back through. It's unable to do that. And it is, though, filling up. So as the water rises here, it's consistent with the level of water here. And before it's over with, this'll actually should end up being underwater.
Isn't that one of the sinkholes right about there where all those bubbles are out there?
Yeah.
No, it's not.
Cowgirl's enjoying the water. Trampoline's gonna float away.
You think?
Nah, not really. It just looks like it though.
Hey,
So
come on.
years
Hey,
ago,
Dad, let's go walk out in the woods. It doesn't look too deep.
yeah. What he's joking about is there's a cave just on the other side of this fence. So if you were to cross this fence and walk 3 feet in, it's a straight drop. It's a drop off straight down for probably 16 to 20 feet. So that water right there, 16, 20 feet deep. We just don't go in there. When I built the house, this was a walkout basement. And what I mean by a true walkout basement is this porch, it was just grass and went out to here. And through these floods, we've had to do different things. Uh-oh, Cowgirl's got something. Let's go see. We're gonna stop. She's after it. She's after it. What's she got here? Stay back, son. Let her see what she's gonna sniff out. Uh-oh, uh-oh. Get it, girl, get it. Oh, she says I gotta stop. Oh, okay. So, she doesn't know what to think about this. So she's dug the hole.
Burping hole.
A burping hole. So this is the water. Back to what I was talking about a moment ago. So you can see the flood waters coming here. Our ground is there's a car system, a lot of car systems under. So this water is finding its level. Look how, see, it's already deepening. We may have to edit this later to get a good explanation, but that's the water underground and now bubbling up. So she sees areas that's coming up. He's wanting to do another measure here. Let's go back over here. This is really gurgling and got my attention. This is pretty interesting right here. It's a shame that's not black gold Texas tea bubbling up out of there. You know what movie that's off of? The Beverly Hillbillies. Oh, how'd that song go? Jed, move away from there. Said California is the place you ought to be, so they loaded up the truck and moved to Beverly Hills, that is. Something about movie stars and something, I don't know. But I enjoy singing when there's not somebody yelling at me to stop, and there's nobody here to yell at me. Back to over here. So this was a walkout basement. This was ground level. And so by now our basement would have had 8 inches to a foot of water in. So what I did after one of these storms like this is I came in and I built a retaining wall. So I built a about a 3-foot retaining wall here. We brought in approximately 30 triaxle loads of topsoil and fill dirt. And let me back up here. We brought in approximately 30 triaxle loads of dirt. Uh-oh, cowgirl's after it again. So she's got another bubbling area here. She's got another burping hole. So obviously, dogs can hear so much better than we can. She's hearing this gurgling, I'm guessing. Let's see if she strikes water. Look at her biting the dirt. How's that taste? Cowgirl, how did it taste? Okay, look, here's maybe what she's seeing too. You can see right here. See it bubbling and gurgling. Water level's close.
Look at that.
Yeah, here. You can see all the air coming up. That's not rain.
Oh, hey, you want to see a really big one? I saw it's out in the water a little bit over there.
Yep. So back to this real quick. So we filled all this up with dirt. So we've created a dam, a retaining area here. Ellen turned it into a beautiful flower garden. We call it the butterfly garden. The paths, if you're standing up here on the porch, of stones look like the outline of a butterfly, and when the when the flowers are in bloom, you know, it looks like a real colorful butterfly. The gurgling hole caught my attention again. Cool. We try to stay out of this water. Well, not try to stay, we do stay out of this water. It makes me really nervous. And one of the reasons, oh yeah, here it is. Here's what farm son wanted to show us. So that's still letting air out. Zoom in here a little bit. Something serious. It's been gurgling. How long you reckon?
Huh?
How long has that been bubbling?
Well,
About an hour?
yeah.
Back out. The reason this makes me nervous is our utilities, our electric is underground. So right here behind this butterfly bush is our transformer. Okay, so this is just like the transformer that most folks have that's up on the poles outside of your home. The power that is from this box to the road, to where it goes back above ground, is high voltage. That's the same voltage that's, you know, those are transmission lines. So there's the power pole. You can see a transformer on it, but underground is the same as that right now. But approximately in the middle of this water, somewhere in the middle of this pond, approximately right there, is what's referred to as a pull box. It was too far to go with one single wire. So there is a connection, a junction box that is now underwater. So this is the same voltage. So if that was to short out, I mean, I'm guessing it would short out before it would electrify the water. I don't know. That'd be a good thing to know. But anyway, I'm not getting in there. The connections they make on those supposedly are not watertight. but in 12 times it's flooded, it's never shorted out, but still makes me nervous as a dad. Farm son, go over here and stand beside the fence, and so they can see the fence going underwater and completely gone. Let's get an idea how deep that is. All right, turn around, son. He's found something. So as you can see, it wouldn't take long before that water was over Farm Son's head. And again, I know for sure, I've measured before, it's now approximately 10 feet right here over the driveway. What'd you find, son?
Cricket.
A cricket?
No, grasshopper.
Oh, grasshopper.
We need...
Uh-oh, somebody's hollering at us.
Are we gonna go try to get you to the road?
Yeah, let's go in here and get me a change of clothes so I can be dry. And I'll let you take me on the four-wheeler and see if you can get me around, get me to my truck that's on the high side, and see if I can get through the road. Okay, so I'm gonna attempt to go to work. We're gonna let Farm Son take me on the four-wheeler and see if we can get around this flood.
I have an upset little girl who wants to see. You want to go with Dad? How come? Because he's riding the four-wheeler? Yeah, I thought. You'll be all right. Okay.
Here's where it's crossing over. It's flooded, spilling over. I'm gonna go along that fence and get out of here. View from this side. So I have a choice here. Go across the fence, take a long walk around, I don't know how far, weeds and ticks and chiggers, or walk through this in my boots and get wet, or take my boots off and walk through this. I'm going to take my boots off. I've got a fresh pair of socks in this bag. So there's the good old Red Wing boots. I'm barefooted. Here we go. Not very deep. Now the bad thing is I am very tender-footed. My feet are very tender. So I've got to walk on rocks, and that ain't gonna be fun. Oh, just the thought of those rocks are already making me cringe. The house, the flood. I'll hurry up and get through here and go tell William he can head to the house. It's raining, so I'm walking through the grass on this side. And old Betsy here. Oh, and the rocks. Ow. Oh my goodness. We're gonna ease through this water real slow like. Looks like it's up on the tires. Alright, we're through. There he is. There he is. Tell him to go ahead and go. Go ahead! Farm Son headed back. And this is where our property ends, right here at this fence. And coming up on our neighbor's place here. They're still high and dry. Their backyard's flooding. I got a neighbor walking here. We're gonna see if I can help them in any way. Okay, so she's good. There wasn't any issue there. Actually had just moved her car further up the road here. Looks like the end of our road is starting to flood. So at the biggest flood we ever had, this filled up, which then caused it to breach the road right down here. I've never been able to get out or have left this early before from the flood to see what goes on, but this area of the road right here fills up. Now I once watched the trash guys try to come through here after it was already starting to recede, And this area right here, they were in one of the semi trucks, you know, the garbage trucks that picked the dumpster up over the top of the semi, so, you know, semi height. The water was over halfway through the grill, and he flooded that out, and it sat right here, so I'm sure that wasn't a good day for him. About time to head home. I understand it's water's over the road in 2 different areas, so here's how I'm getting home. I've got a John boat here. I've decided to grab one of the dollies strapped to it. So the water's over the road in 2 places, so what I plan to do is pull this out of the truck and paddle across, put my dolly and everything in the boat, paddle across, hook the thing back up, walk it up the road to the next area that I've got to ford, go across that, put everything back together, go down the driveway, and then paddle across the big part. So this should be quite the quite the entertainment, but the boat's very light with the dolly, shouldn't be any problem, so let's get loaded up.